Welcome back to another episode of A Shaman in Suburbia. Our topic is forgiveness today and the ritual of forgiveness. I've already lit some sage for us, and I want to talk about the connection of sage and other clearing items. Sometimes I use Palo Santo, and I brought a cedar smudge spray too. And smudging is one of those ways that we clear energy. And also, they've shown sage to be disinfecting as well. So a great way to clear your home of energy that feels dense, heavy. And you want to make sure that you open doors and windows, by the way, with that, because it is going to, we want it to go out, right? And it is going to create some smoke, as you can see. So when you're using sage particularly, there's kind of a heavy smoke to it. So you're going to want to open those doors and windows and let out anything that's ready to go out on its way. So we're just clearing the energy and making it neutral. And cedar smudge spray is going to do the same thing. I can mix it up a little. I can spray my aura. I could spray my feet. Nice place to release. And sometimes when I'm clearing energy, I'm going to use my feather wand here that I made. Has a great stone chrysoprase on it. Some yellow for my solar plexus, for connecting with my intuition and my true power. And I also have some seashells on it too that I found up in the Apalachicola area of Florida. Beautiful, beautiful beaches up there. So this I created as my tool to just move the smoke and move the energy around in my aura and any spaces that I might be clearing. Now, what does this have to do with forgiveness? So, forgiveness is a topic that I talk a lot about with individual clients and groups of people, because it's one that seems to trip people up sometimes. It seems that they have an idea that if they forgive, then they're saying that whatever occurred with another person or circumstance was okay. And I find that this really does have people holding on to things that are then continuing, they feel the hurt of it over and over. And so the reason why I'm showing you these beautiful clearing tools is to connect the idea in your minds and in your hearts that forgiveness is really just about clearing. It's about me choosing to release the pain and any suffering I might feel from any connection I had with another person, with an ongoing circumstance, and even, I don't know if it's more importantly, but just very importantly, forgiveness to myself for maybe things that I see as mistakes. We really truly can't make a mistake, but our human mind tells us that we can. Everything that you see as a mistake was a mistake, all right? Take it as a two-part word. Sometimes we just don't know what it is that we're choosing, and so we choose something that later we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, why did I choose that? How could I have done that? Well, you did it because it was the best choice for you at the time, but maybe it isn't anymore. Or maybe you really have done some things that you feel were harmful to people. That happens. We can say things sometimes to hurt individuals, even intentionally, because we're feeling angry. There's no correct amount of time to hold that energy for yourself. So forgiveness is about cutting the cords, clearing the energy of old hurts, and releasing those people if it feels like people that hurt you. Ultimately, no one can truly, truly hurt your soul, but it can feel very hurtful sometimes what we hear from others and things that we experience, and I get that. So releasing that, cutting the cords, clearing that energy is what forgiveness is. Now, sometimes I choose to forgive and then also disconnect myself from that person as far as engaging with them in social activity or a relationship. Or maybe I decide to forgive a whole organization and leave that particular organization because it's no longer resonating with where I am. So forgiveness doesn't mean that I then keep putting that particular person in my life or that particular circumstance. And when I forgive myself, it doesn't mean that I would choose again some of those same behaviors or activities or words. It just means I say I clear myself from the energy of that. What's amazing with forgiveness is when you take the ritual of forgiveness and you do that for yourself, you feel lighter, you feel more clear, and so you do make better choices. When we're holding unforgiveness, we feel heavy, we feel clouded in our minds a lot of times, and we continue to tell ourselves things that will keep us down and depressed even, and make choices that aren't really serving us sometimes for future growth. And the last thing I wanted to invite in is the idea that we've seen our tree here before, that maybe you do have a person that you might intend. You don't have to make a tree like I did, but certainly you could. And I could decide to forgive a person that I felt was hurtful in my life, or I could decide to make the person me and forgive myself for past things I've said to myself, maybe not so great statements. And I'm going to put my little person, inside my tree and allow myself to just come back to the awareness of full, perfect, healed, revealed, true self existence. And I think that if you play with this a bit, you may even take the time just to sit and think about who comes up and what comes up that needs to be forgiven. You don't have to do it every day. This is kind of like a one-time thing. And then if those situations or people come up again, you can always just remind yourself, yes, I've forgiven that. I'm released from that. Thank you. Sending them with love, honor, and gratitude for the time that they did serve you. So I hope that you enjoy beginning to release yourself from any bonds of unforgiveness that might be there. I think you're going to find it to be really freeing. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to hear more or explore more of what I have to offer, feel free to visit me at wingtreasures.com. Send me a note, and that's wingtreasures, WINGEDTREASURES.com. Thank you so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.